He's a good player.
Oh
He
man, he's
never
fucking sick. He was sick as a rookie too.
he
Yeah.
never played more than 69 games
He's got one
a
of the better
season.
shots in the league. All right.
Man, that's like
Hold on. As we're speaking, we just went live. I just want to warn you, gentlemen. The reason we made this impromptu live video is because we just got news that Tyler Toffoli, formerly of the Los Angeles Kings, just got traded to the Vancouver Canucks. Now, we don't have the complete details of the trade yet, but we do know he got traded for a first round pick, which we're assuming is the first round pick in 2021, because their current first round pick belongs to the New Jersey Devils now. It also involves an NHL player, and it also involves a prospect. We don't know who the players are, who the prospects are, but we're assuming the news is going to come out in the next couple of minutes. So hopefully we'll get word on that. I am joined with Scotty2 Hockey. You can check out his channel on Open Ice Hits with Scotty2 Hockey. And I'm also joined with GB. These two guys are going to be checking the news. They're going to be scavenging the internet to try to find whatever info we can. The minute we find out who was involved in the trade, we are going to report it for you. Gentlemen, let's start with Scotty because he's my special guest. What's your initial reaction to this trade?
I'm not surprised at all Tyler Toffoli got traded, man. He's been in trade rumors every single year. Well, last year he was one of like the biggest people in trade rumors, never got traded, and it was almost inevitable he was going to get traded this year. His contract's up soon. Not shocked by any means. I'd just like to know what Vancouver paid for him in return. Like, because like you say, Vancouver's capped out now that they took on Toffoli. So maybe LA retained some cap. I'm trying to find the information here on what the exact deal is, but no shock that Tyler Toffoli is traded out of LA, but it's kind of a shock that he's traded to Vancouver because I don't know what the Canucks are doing in this situation. Are they trying to go all in because they don't seem like a contending team? And I don't see him re-signing Toffoli. He's going to want too much money, and they don't have the money to pay a player like that. So it's kind of weird he went to Vancouver, but I'm not shocked he got traded by any fucking means at all.
Oh, I disagree. I think they are a contending team, and I think they are going all in.
All right.
Go
We
ahead.
got information.
Go ahead.
Bob
This-
McKenzie.
This is
Bob
Bob
McKenzie.
McKenzie.
Oh,
Go
Bob
ahead.
McKenzie's the man. Legit.
He tweeted out prospect Tyler Madden and a 2020 second round pick in addition to Schaller for Toffoli.
What? That
What?
seems very
Yeah.
low.
Really, though?
Hey, do you mind repeating it just one last time?
So it's prospect Tyler Madden and a 2020 second round pick, including Tom Schaller.
Tyler Madden. Okay, I'm gonna look up this Tyler Madden guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
I don't
Looking
know
up Tyler
much
Madden.
about him. Oh,
It's
he's
Tim Schaller, not Tom Schaller.
yeah. Do they have
Canucks
any info
prospect played
on
for
these guys?
Well, Tim Schaller doesn't have very good. I'm looking at his stats right now. He played 51 games and has 6 points.
Okay. This guy Tyler Madden. I think this is the right Hockey DB page. Oh shit, my thing isn't connected. If this is correct,
I'm looking at it here now.
he was
He
drafted
played for
third in the third round, 68th overall in the 2018 NHL draft.
He has some good junior numbers though. He played for Northeastern University, the same team that Caden Premu played for. And he has in 27 games played, he has 19 goals, 18 assists, and he's a +4. So he has
Okay.
37 points and 27 game played for Northeastern University in the
Okay.
NCAA, which is excellent numbers. That's sick numbers for NCAA. Caulfield only has 32 points.
Oh, okay. So, I'm just going to interrupt. Look at the chat for a moment. William LaCour says, "Do we know who it is for?" Well, as we just said, it's for Timothy Schaller, who, from the news we're getting from, I think it's safe to say none of us really watch the Vancouver Canucks extensively. He's more of a depth player. The prospect Tim Madden of the Northeastern University, and a 2022 second round pick. Now, if I were to go a little bit further in the chat, Joe says that he's a promising player. Madden's been looked at as a bit of a steal ever since they drafted him. So I guess in those regards, it's a decent trade for the Los Angeles Kings if this guy Tyler Madden is a A+ prospect. If he's anything less than an A prospect, I think this was a very, very low price to pay for a guy like Toffoli. Am I wrong here? Let me take a second look at his stats, but When I saw the marketplace that was established for Jason Zucker, I was expecting explosions for Tyler Toffoli, but that's just me.
He's kind of small. He's kind of small. He's only 155 pounds. He's 5'11". He's 155 pounds, which means he's really skinny. So he's kind of small, but everything I'm reading on him here now, he does seem like a top tier prospect. All like the scouting reports and everything I'm seeing.
Well, he has
He's
34.
he's a center too.
He has 34 points. I'm talking about Toffoli now. He has 34 points
Yep.
in 58 games. Now, we all heard about Blake Coleman, who got traded from the New Jersey Devils to the Tampa Bay Lightning. If memory serves me right, he has the same. Okay, he has 31 points in almost the same amount of games. I feel like the return that the Devils got for Blake Coleman is superior to what the Los Angeles Kings have got for Tyler Toffoli. I need to look more into this Tyler Madden guy because I'm not sure who he is. From what I hear about Joe, he might be a little bit of a promising player, a little bit of a steal, so we'll see about that. Do you think though?
Well, one of the scouting reports. This is a quote from one of the scouting reports I'm reading about Tyler Madden. It says, "A highly skilled offensive player with great active mobility and hockey sense. All in, Tyler Madden is a player with instincts and skating to develop into a reliable offensive asset to any team. He's been overshadowed by players like Quinn Hughes."
Yeah. Now moving on in the chat, I'm going to be answering everyone's questions here. Joe says, I was really hoping we, the Canadians, would have acquired him. I don't know about that. I mean, adding a guy like Toffoli is if you think you're gonna make the playoffs, and if you think you're gonna make a long run to the cup. I don't know what the goal was for the Canadians to give up prospects in order to get a guy like Tyler Toffoli, but I'm certainly glad they didn't do it.
I made a video about this last year. If you go and check my channel this time last year, I made a video, top 3 players the Montreal Canadiens should go after at the trade line. I had Tyler Toffoli at number 2.
Okay. William LaCour says, it would be nice if Montreal tried to trade their player to a Pacific team like the Jets or Flames because it's not totally sure they will make the playoffs. Yeah, I agree. Jet EU, what? William LaCour says, damn, Tyler Maiden is good. Yeah, from what I see, the stats. Can you repeat the stats for the people just joining us, Scotty? Do you have them up?
Yep. 1 second. I just got to go back to the hockey DB.
All right. Well,
2 seconds.
Leaky Bum, he says very low. Yeah, very low to the other trades that we've went through. Joe says Tyler Madden's not a bad prospect. Jason Voorhees, he says Canucks really want to make the playoffs. Yeah, they listen, I think that they're good enough to make the playoffs. Let me fix the chat. I think they're good enough to make the playoffs. And you know the old cliche, once you make the playoffs, we never know what might happen in the playoffs. Anyone has an equal chance to win. So go ahead.
As for Tyler Madden's stats, they took a big jump this year because last year in the USHL, in 36 games played, he only had 12 goals, 16 assists, and 28 points. But this year, after already being drafted, he upped his game this year. In 27 games played so far this year, he has 19 goals, 18 assists, and 37 points, and he's a +4.
Okay, not bad. Now, to put it into perspective, I know I have a lot of Canadians listeners. You said that was more points than Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, Cole Caulfield is a freshman. This guy's not a freshman; he's a sophomore. So Cole Caulfield leads all freshmen. He has 32 points. He has 18 goals. But this guy has 19 goals, 18 assists, and 37 points, which is really impressive. But he's still top 15 in scoring in the NCAA.
Okay, Michael.
He has more. He has.
Go ahead.
I just want to say one point.
Yep.
He has more goals than Tkachuk and Paling had combined in a full season.
Holy moly! All right, GB. Are you still with us?
Yes, I am. I'm just learning as I go because I'm just like you.
Yeah, try to look up what the experts are saying on this. I'm going to keep reading.
I could put my personal opinion out there and say this isn't a very wise decision because for the Canucks.
Okay, explain why.
To trade prospects when this is your first time going into the playoffs for a while. Because right now they have a lot of prospects they need to re-sign. They're going to be losing a lot of money, and right now they're right at the cap.
Yeah,
with this trade.
But for me,
I couldn't agree more.
The only problem though is that the need for prospects, the need for picks, that's more akin to a rebuilding team. I don't view the Canucks as a rebuilding team. I view them as a team that can compete, and I get the argument that they were never in the playoffs for like a long time. Do you guys know when the last time was? Probably that run in 2011.
I know.
Um,
I think it was the Flames Canucks thing back in like 2015, 2016.
yeah, but I like someone fact checked me when the Blackhawks won in 2010. That's pretty much the first time that group of boys went to the playoffs. So I'm one of those people. I subscribe to the cliche that once you're in the playoffs, pretty much anything can happen. The Tampa Bay Lightning can get kicked off by the Columbus Blue Jackets. So teams are just adding pieces, left and right, whether it be Blake Coleman, whether it be, this guy, Tyler Toffoli. We'll see in the future if Thomas Tatar gets dealt. I would like to see that happen,
I
personally.
just don't. I just don't think they have enough depth.
I don't
Honestly,
either.
The Canucks?
yeah.
Not even that they have too much depth. They're too inexperienced. They have all these guys are in their second and third year. Besser's in his fourth year. They got guys that can't stay healthy like Brock Besser. You can't depend on having him in the playoffs.
That's
They're
true.
not a very big team. Their best defensemen aren't very physical defensemen. Like when you look at Quinn Hughes, yes, he's excellent offensively, but defensively, he's not very good. Quinn Hughes is not very good defensively when you actually watch him play. And overall, they're not a big team. They're not built to play in the playoffs, in
Yeah.
my opinion. They're too inexperienced and they don't have the depth. I kind of think it's a crazy move to go after Toffoli like that myself. I agree with GB. But yeah, like they're inexperienced, they don't have the depth, and their defense is not physical at all. It's not a strong decor.
Yeah. I think he might be
It's
better
it's
in the
strong. It's
future.
strong offensively.
I think he might be good, Quinn Hughes, defensively in the future, but it's hard for an 18-year-old, or sorry, he's not 18, he's 20. But it's hard for a rookie defenseman to be that dominant at the defensive position. Um, let's see. Where was I? Michael Robinson says, William LaCour, I agree with you, but it would be nice if Montreal trades, but Mark Bergevin won't budge. Massilio Cinelli, he says, hey, Matt, by the way. Hey there, buddy. Joe says, if I were Vancouver, I would have asked for Jonah Yajovic as well. That's a
I,
tremendous prospect. I think LA should have acquired him. Go ahead, GB.
I think this is a bad move for both teams. Like,
Well, don't they
like
say the best trades is when both sides are unhappy? So,
Yep.
yeah, but this is more of like a dumb trade because the Kings, in my personal opinion, didn't get enough for Toffoli.
it's not that dumb. Like, think about it. You guys are saying the Canucks are inexperienced. Adding a guy like Toffoli, he's won the cup what two or three times, at least twice. That helps a lot of a group of young guys. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, you're fine. It's just, and it's bad for the Kings too. Like the Tampa Bay obviously set the market yesterday, and now the market's all lowered down a lot with this trade.
Yeah.
The Kings could have fleeced any team they wanted that was contending for a cup this year, and they chose for mediocrity settle. They could have waited until the actual trade deadline and get something better.
Yeah.
I think they're just going. I think they just got high hopes for this Madden kid, this Tyler Madden kid, because he does seem like a really good prospect. And certain prospects, like when you do a trade, it doesn't sound like the best, but then that prospect goes on to become a superstar because that team's scouts have been watching him flat out, have been constantly keeping their eye on him. They probably scouted this kid before. They probably wanted him when they went to do this trade. That's probably the player they were after to begin with, and that's probably why they did it. Because that's the only way I can see them doing this trade is that prospect. Because other than that, like you say, it is low for what they could have got for Toffoli. Not only is it low for what they could have got for Toffoli, there's not a lot out there on the market at this deadline.
Yeah. Moving on in the chat here. And you guys may have realized I put the Discord link in the chat. I would have done it in the description, but I forgot to. If you guys ever want to call into the show, voice your opinion, maybe you're a Canucks fan, maybe you're an LA fan, well, join the Discord, follow the link, and wait inside the waiting room. We'll drag you onto the podcast channel and we'll be able to chat about it. But moving on into the chat, Leaky Bum says Coleman was on a 2-year, $1.8 million contract, which made his value higher. That's true. Is Tyler Toffoli's contract ending this year, or is there another extra year?
I'm pretty sure it is ending this year. I'm almost sure it's ending this year. I can go check right
it's
now.
ending
But
this year.
So-
I'm looking at it right
So you see, that explains why maybe the return isn't as big as with Coleman. So because my initial reaction was, Holy crap! I felt the Devils got more for Coleman. That guy Nolan Foote, his shot, it's a stud of a shot. He's got an NHL shot already, and he's not even in the
Isn't he
NHL.
Adam Foote's son?
He
I'm pretty
is.
sure he's Adam Foote's son. Yeah, and his dad was a stud.
Yeah, his he has a brother, Cal Foote, who's a defensive prospect. But I know Nolan Foote from the World Juniors, and he was an absolute stud. Bontoon17 says, "What was the trade?" GB, why don't you repeat the trade? Because I'm already forgetting it.
Oh, it was that one. It was a 2020 second round. The one dude that no one cares about from the Canucks is just a throwaway
No,
player.
no,
in
hey,
trade
come on,
history.
be professional. Here.
Tim
Say the
Schaller.
names.
Tim Schaller.
Tim Schaller.
Tim Shower.
Schaller, not shower.
And Tyler Madden.
He doesn't stink.
Well, I just look at his stats and I'm just like, they just threw him in here to relieve cap space.
Yeah, that's more. I feel that's more of a cap space move too. I don't think the Vancouver Canucks are done. I'll tell you what. William Lacourse says, but also the advantage of getting a guy before the UFA season is that maybe he plays a few games in Vancouver. He gets to know the players. He gets to know the atmosphere, the environment, and maybe he likes it, and that sways him to maybe sign in the offseason with Vancouver. So we'll see what Tyler Foley, whatever he's called, Tyler Toffoli. We'll see what that. He must
Tyler
be from
Foley.
Canada. He must be from Canada, right? Tyler Foley, birth. Scarborough.
Could be Italian.
Close enough. Italian. All right, moving on into the chat. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything whatsoever about the Tyler Toffoli trade, let us know in the chat below or join us on Discord. Moving down, though, Human Bigfoot, first time I see you, so welcome to the Sin Bin, buddy. He says, sup, bitches. Jordan Kessnell, or Cannell. He says, Caulfield, LOL. Sounds so funny when he says it. How did I pronounce it? Did I say it wrong? Did I say?
You could be talking about me.
Oh, say it.
Caulfield.
Coffee.
Cole Caulfield.
Cole
What's
Caulfield.
up, guys? Scotty 2 Hockey here.
Man, you sound like a fucking Razor Ramon, not me.
Guys, if you guys didn't check it out,
Sound like a shitty Italian.
this guy with the funny accent, his name is Scotty 2 Hockey. Do me a favor and subscribe to his channel, Open Ice Hit with Scotty 2 Hockey, if you like hockey content similarly to the one we're doing right now. Going down, though, Joe says Schaller is actually not that bad of a player. Even though he hasn't put up that many points, Shalotz is a talented guy. He could be a great player for them, maybe. He says, Toffoli's a UFA. I believe at the end of the season. It's a rental, I believe, for the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, but like I was saying, remember Jeff Petrie? The Canadians got him for a second-round pick. He was a rental, but he ended up signing with the team because sometimes those few games, they build a lot of chemistry with the players. They like the environment. You know, Jeff Petrie's wife had a lot to do with him signing in Montreal. She must love the French guys in Montreal because she basically had a big part in that. But anyway, a black prep.
I was looking at Mark Bergevin's trade history the other day. He has a shitty draft history, but some of his trades have been pretty damn good.
That's another video for another day.
Yep.
A black prep says, I guess that's the last time Tyler Foley is going to score a hat trick. It's only going to get him traded. Yeah, that's pretty... Listen, he's not having the best of seasons, but they couldn't have traded him while his value was higher. That's for sure. But that being said, it's one game. It doesn't mean anything.
Hell, what does that mean? Is like the something stamp of approval, Peter Chiarelli's?
Peter Chiarelli? I don't know.
Who was that bad GM that made bad
that
trades?
Yeah, Peter Chiarelli.
Yeah, this Peter Chiarelli's stamp of approval.
Man,
No,
the Mike
it's not
Wilder
that
stamp
bad.
approval.
Are you crazy? It's not that bad. It's a fucking rental. It's not like they traded Elias Peterson for fucking Andy Andrioff here.
Oh, geez.
William
Thank God.
William Racour says yes, they have to re-sign Peterson soon, and Hughes. That's one thing. If you guys are just joining us, who were the players that you listed off, GB, that they need to re-sign? There was Besser, Hughes. What were the other ones?
Besser's already signed.
Besser's already signed. They have. I know Vantanen was one. Let me go through it. They have Zach McEwen, Justin Bailey,
Vertanen, not Vantanen.
Vertanen.
Yeah,
I'm American. Sorry. They have Adam Gaudette. They have to resign Troy Stetcher, Chris Tanev, and Brisebois this year. And also Jacob Markstrom's contract.
Hey, you know what?
And he's a UFA.
Jacob Markstrom is having a breakthrough fucking season. And I remember when he first came into the league with the Florida Panthers, he was supposed to be the next big thing in goals. They were saying Robin Lehner and Markstrom were the next big things. And I think that Lehner had his breakthrough season with the Islanders. We're seeing it now with the Vancouver Canucks. Markstrom is on fucking fire. He's going to command a lot of dough.
I think he's going to get $7 million next. Well, he's unrestricted, so Vancouver can easily lose him.
Yeah. You know what?
They got Thatcher Demko. They could let Markstrom just walk, keep the cap room, and go all in with Thatcher Demko because he's one hell of a good young goalie.
After the season though that Markstrom's having, you would let him go and keep Snatcher Demko?
I don't know. Maybe that's what Vancouver's plan is, because if they re-sign Markstrom long-term, he's probably going to want long-term contract with big money. Then what do you do with Thatcher Demko? Like, everything I've heard indicates that they want that guy to be their future number one. Like, Markstrom's good for now. Like, he's having a really good season, but is he going to be better than what Thatcher Demko has the potential to be? Because even in the NHL, he looks damn good.
If the Canucks want to win, they're going to need an elite goalie with their mediocre defense.
Yeah.
Oh, hands down.
It's kind of similar to the Toronto situation. If their goalie's not on top of their game, they're going to let in a lot of pucks.
It sort of reminds me of the Price versus Halak situation that 1 year in Montreal. Halak was the guy who had the excellent year, the excellent playoff run, and Price was the promising young prospect who didn't really prove anything. It's sort of the same in Vancouver, where Markstrom, the year he's having, would you guys say it's a Vezina quality year? Let me look up his stats to make sure I'm not bullshitting, but I don't
think it's a Vezina quality year, because I think Hellebuck has the Vezina wrapped up myself personally. Like, Hellebuck's been sick. Unless his numbers have plummeted. Yeah, he could be a nominee. I could see him being a nominee, but I know there's a few goalies out there having really good years. Like, Vasilevsky's been turning it up. Hellebuck's been great. And off the top of my head, Markstrom would probably be in the top 5 for sure, if not a nominee.
He has a .918 save percentage. It's not like out of this world, but it's pretty solid. I think it's more of a recency bias, because did you see that Daniel Sedin the ceremony they had?
I didn't see it. No,
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, but they raised.
None of us see it.
I didn't see it, but they raised Daniel and Henrik Sedin's numbers in the rafters, and the game, I think, was it against Anaheim or something? The Canucks did not fucking show up to play that game. And Markstrom stood on his head, and he ended up having like a 40-something save shutout. He absolutely stole that game. So maybe it's a little bit of recency bias. All right, keep sending in those questions. I'm reading them all. I know I'm a little bit behind, but Champ Games 123, obviously a Canucks fan. Welcome, buddy. He says, OMG, why did we trade Madden? So it seems like the Canucks fan, he later goes on, I would rather trade someone like Palmu or Gadjevic. It seems like the Canucks fan, he's a little bit upset giving up a guy like Madden. Obviously, reading his stats, he does seem like an A-quality prospect. I'm going to tell you this. Your management thinks they're good enough to have a decent run in the playoffs. So they're not shying away from giving up prospects. It sucks, but in order to get, you have to give. That's my opinion on it.
Well, when you look at Madden, he's a really good prospect. You could probably put him on par with like a guy like Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield probably is a bit of a better prospect when you look at it, but Madden is a top-tier prospect. Would you be happy if Montreal gave away Cole Caulfield for fucking Tyler Toffoli along with other pieces?
No.
Well, that's probably how
it depends. If I felt the Canadians, they had a decent chance to making the Stanley Cup, and they just needed a few more pieces, maybe perhaps they're a Tyler Toffoli away from winning the cup, I would give up Cole Caulfield in a second if I knew it would give the cup.
A Cole Caulfield for a couple of months of Tyler Toffoli.
If it meant winning the cup, yes. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's a bad trade. Listen, if the Vancouver Canucks,
if they were the Avs or like the Avalanche or the Blues or something like that, I don't understand. But I don't see the Vancouver Canucks as like a legit contender. Who knows? Once you get into the playoffs, anything could happen. Markstrom could get red hot. All their scores could step up. It could happen, but like realistically, like it doesn't seem like the smartest move for a Vancouver team.
but say
It really
the
don't.
Vancouver Canucks win the cup, do you care you gave up Tyler Madden? You just got
Well,
the
obviously
ultimate.
not. Obviously not.
Yeah. So basically the only way this would be a good move for Vancouver is if you win the cup, or if Tyler Toffoli resigns. But even if he doesn't, I can't necessarily call it a bad move because it's a gamble.
I found the greatest reaction meme to this trade,
What is it?
and it's on Twitter because one of my friends tweeted it out. It says, "Will the Canucks be able to afford Eriksson, Myers, Besser, and having to re-sign Hughes, Peterson, and Toffoli? Hey, I doubt it."
Yeah. How much do you think Peterson's going to command?
Ooh,
At-
double digits. Double digits.
At least 9 million, probably double digits. Yeah.
No way. He's going to get double digits. If Jack Eichel's getting double digits, Peterson's definitely getting double digits because
You think so?
Peterson's been way better in his first 3 years than what Jack Eichel was in his first 3 years.
That's true. And they're in Canada too, which the dollar is worth
Yep.
less. I don't want to rain on Vancouver Canucks parade, but he's gonna have to take the hometown discount to rule them all to make this
Well,
worthwhile.
unfortunately for Vancouver, he's Swedish, so I don't see that happening.
Yeah, that's it. So maybe that's why they're going all in, so to speak, this year. They know they can't sign everyone. They're gonna have to give someone up. At the very, maybe it might be a Vertanen or Vertanen, however you say it. Did you see him beat Jason Zucker in that one game? Oh, they had a fight and they squared off at center ice, and yeah, Zucker took the worst of it. But yeah, I divulge here. Leaky Bum says Canucks should have traded for Martinez instead of Toffoli to help the back end. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I don't know. They felt like Toffoli was the piece they needed to add it, and they gave away Madden, and they gave away a big part of their future. We'll see how it works out for them. Can't think of a name. Can't think of ever seeing you in the chat, so welcome, buddy. He says, have a feeling this won't work for Vancouver. You know what? It's very hard to win the Stanley Cup, so already the odds are stacked against Vancouver. But you know what? I understand it's a big price to pay, okay? But they're going to have to gamble a little bit. It's like when you go to Vegas. You know you're going to give up money, but you're hoping to win the jackpot here. That's sort of how I look at it. Am I wrong? Do you guys disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from.
So much enthusiasm. Zico. I wonder if you have the Zika virus. He says it's ending this year, and if he re-signs in Vancouver, they get a pick the following year. So there you go.
They have a lethal. The one person RD just said that they have a lethal top 9, but if you even look at the Maple Leafs have a really good top 9 too, and look how good they've been doing in the playoffs. First round exit 2 years in a row.
And the Maple Leafs have an elite goaltender. Freddie Anderson is definitely better than Markstrom.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna be a little controversial here. I think Vancouver has the better defense.
I don't, to be honest. Like the Leafs overall, they got Tyson Berry, who's a really good offensive defenseman, excellent on the power play. They got Jake Muzzin, who can patrol the blue line, can be physical, he's gritty, and then they got other guys like they got Morgan Riley. When he comes back, he won't be back until the playoffs, but if they do have him in the playoffs, he'll be a big help. He's a true number one centerman. Their top 3 defensemen are good, and the other 3 after that are all bums. Yeah, that's what I said, defenseman.
That's the problem, though. I don't feel they have a lot of like stay-at-home type of guys. Like Morgan Riley, Tyson Berry, they're very good, but they're very offensive-minded. They're not like those juggernauts.
Jake Muzzin is a stay-at-home defenseman.
Yeah, that's true. But the problem for me for Jake Muslim is that if he's playing in your top pair, I don't think he's the best top pairing defenseman because that guy, he gives up pucks like a hooker gives up blowjobs. You're a Canadians fan, you know how like sometimes PK Subban used to
Well,
give up.
Quinn Hughes has 57 turnovers this year, so
Okay,
he
that's
gives
true.
up pucks more than a hooker gives up blowjobs. He gives up pucks fucking
That's
all day
true.
long.
That's true. By the way, I could really use a blowjob right now. But when I was thinking about Vancouver, I'm more so thinking about like guys like Edler, guys like Tanev. I feel these guys are more stable defensively than a lot of the guys on the Maple Leafs. But it's case in point. You could have a very good top nine, like what the JB was saying about Toronto. Doesn't mean you're gonna do it in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Joe says Tampa had Cal and Nolan Foote. I think they let go of great players in Nolan. They could have kept both brothers. So there you go. I was looking for the team that Cal Foote was on. Turns out it was also Tampa Bay. Toffoli is Italian, actually. He's Italian descent like me. Oh, you guys are both Italian. That's cool. Are you guys in the mafia? Rios Dread says,
I was right when I said Toffoli was Italian.
"Oh, no shit." And the sky is
Yeah.
blue. Did you know bonjour is French? Rios
Nope.
Dread. Can you speak French, by the way?
Bonjour, s'il vous plaît. Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes?
Yeah.
Salute.
What did you call me? Rios
Salute.
Rios Dread says, "What do you think? I'm a Canucks fan. The only bad thing is, in my opinion, that Madden is gone." Yeah, it sucks that Madden is gone, but you have to keep in mind your management is doing a gamble, and they think that it's a gamble that might pay off. If your team wins the Stanley Cup, even though it sucks giving up Madden, you won't care anymore. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to win the cup. It's a hard prize to win, but I've seen more ridiculous in my lifetime. I've seen crazier. The fucking Los Angeles Kings were a last seeded team twice, and they won the Stanley Cup.
All right. So the Canucks confirmed it. We got everything right except for the part about the conditional 4th round pick in 2022.
Go ahead.
So basically, the Canucks trade Tim Schaller, Canucks 2020 second round pick, rights to Tim Madden, and conditional 4th round pick in 2020.
A 4th round pick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we initially had a second pick.
Well, no,
That's
there's
even
2
worse
picks.
for
There's
them.
2
Oh,
picks.
there's 2
Oh,
picks.
there's 2 picks. Okay.
My bad. My brain just decided to shit the bed. I got shit licking out of my ears. William LaCour says, actually, Petrie re-signed in Montreal because he liked the playoffs here. That, but also it's on the record that his wife really liked Montreal. And she, you
And
know
he
what
said
they
he
say?
liked the playoffs to make it look good.
You know what they say? Happy wife, happy life. Scotty, you're the only married one here, so I'm sure you know that saying.
100%.
If his wife said, listen, this Montreal place, it's a shithole, there's potholes everywhere, everyone's speaking this weird voodoo language, Petrie wouldn't have resigned. She would have killed him. His anxiety would go up the roof. Maestro, nice to have you in the chat, buddy. He says Pearson, Horvat, Toffoli, that's a 6-second line. That's a really 6-second line, especially the way Pearson's turned thing around. Oh, I forgot. Pearson and Toffoli used to play together. On the same line, if I believe. They were on that 70s line with Jeff Carter. It was Jeff Carter, Tyler Pearson, and Tyler Toffoli. And they were one of the best lines I've ever seen in the playoffs. That's a
How
fact.
old is Pearson now?
He's got to be around the same as Toffoli.
I think he's like 26 or something like that.
Yeah, he's
Pretty sure.
27.
Oh, man.
He's 27.
Man, I made a big mistake in fantasy hockey. I traded Pearson for fucking Ryan Reeves. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I picked him
Yeah.
up. I picked him up later on.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in another pool. In your pool, I didn't have him, but in my other fantasy pool I'm in, I traded Pearson for Ryan Reeves, and man, it hasn't been a good trade so far. But I needed to pick up some hits and blocks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. Joe says Markstrom, I don't think is coming back to Vancouver. They want to have Demko and DiPietro as their tandem. But you know what? If not Maestro, Markstrom, if Markstrom is working out, you can give away a guy like DePietro and get a good asset on your team. Y- Demko and DePietro, I think they're very good young goalies, but that's the problem. You don't have much
The
experience in
way you
nets.
say the way you say DiPietro's name is killing me. He makes fun of me for Caulfield, but he calls him it's DiPietro.
Dude, I fuck up. Don't use me as an example. I'll fuck up every single name. Having
Cole
Demko,
Caulfield and DiPietro.
what's his name? The pizza, whatever.
DiPietro.
All right, having both of them as your duo in nets. That's not a lot of experience. And goalies, it's good to have experience in nets. The average goalie, they could last until like well into their 30s and they're still going to be performing. If I'm the Canucks management, I'm keeping Markstrom. I really am. Maestro says Demko is gone. I don't think Demko is coming back for Vancouver. Again, if you want to keep DiPietro, you can trade Demko and get something out of him. Similarly, again, to what the Canadians did with Price and Halak. They decided to keep the young guy, and they traded away Halak for Lars Eller, Ian Schultz, and what was the other thing? Like a first round pick or whatever it was. Anyway, Dosanjh Jr. says Canucks won. Uh, or Dosanjh Jr. He says Tyler Madden didn't even want to play for the Canucks. I didn't. So yeah, I didn't even know that Tyler Madden didn't want to play for the
Is there
Canucks.
anything of him actually saying that, or is this just this guy's opinion? Because there are sometimes young
Tech
prospects
guy,
do
look it
let it
up.
know, but
I'm looking it up right now, kiddo.
All right, he's looking it up. I'm gonna move on into the chat. Um, Maestro says it wasn't against Chicago 49. It was against Chicago. Okay, so the 49 save shutout, that excellent shutout that Markstrom had was against the Blackhawks, not the Ducks. Thanks for that. Mark Velasco, new time chatter. I think Madden had a bad showing at the Beanpot. Well, yeah. Even if that's the case, don't put all of your
that's
eggs in
only
one
four
basket.
games.
Yeah, what
That's
is
only
it?
4 games.
It's like a
It's a Bean
week.
Pop tournament. It's all the best Eastern NCAA teams like Boston University, Northeastern University, and there's two other ones I can't remember the top of them off the top of my head, but it's all the best Massachusetts teams play against each other
Right.
in a four. It's like a 4 game tournament.
Yeah, but it's only a 4 game tournament. Don't like put all of
Man,
your eggs.
Caden Premium was sick in that tournament. He lit it up like he was the MVP of that tournament 2 years in a row.
Who?
Caden Premium, Montreal's
Oh,
goalie.
okay, Primo. How did Caulfield do?
Primo, yeah. Caulfield, he didn't play. He wasn't in the NCAA, and he's on Wisconsin.
No, I mean this year.
Oh, Caulfield? No, he wouldn't be in the Bean Pack because it's
Oh,
only the
oh,
four
oh,
teams from
oh.
Massachusetts.
I see. Okay, my bad. Again, my brain shit.
It's like a state tournament. It's a state tournament is what it is.
I see. Dosanjh
I
Jr.
found
Go ahead.
I found the best article of all time. This was This was like this website called The Province posted an article about Canucks prospects, like literally 20 minutes before the trade happened.
Can you put it in the chat so the viewers can see it?
Yeah, I'll post a link there.
Right.
I don't know if I can because I'm not a mod, but I'll try.
Oh, then put it in the Discord and I'll put it. But go ahead, read it in the meantime.
But I'm gonna read the part about the one prospect guy,
Tyler Madden.
Madden.
GB is about to read something juicy about Tyler Madden. Go ahead.
So, what a week for Madden. On Monday, he helped Northeastern win the Beanpot tournament. On Friday, he was injured for what looks like a remainder of the NCAA season.
Go ahead.
Then on Sunday, the Canucks 2018 third rounder was traded to Los Angeles Kings in a deal for Tyler Toffoli. Wow, I'm terrible at reading.
Are you high?
He's injured. He's injured for the rest of the season. That sucks.
Yeah.
Is he?
It's only 9 games. There's only 9 games left in the NCAA season, but still, like that.
Whoa! Hold the phone. Hold the motherfucking flipping phone. First of all, I need to know what type of injury it is, because if it's any type of lower body injury, anything involving the knees, anything involving a broken bone, this trade isn't as bad as it may seem for the Vancouver Canucks because players do have a hard time rehabbing from that. Second of all, I thought it was illegal to trade a player that's injured. I thought that is that just
I
me?
don't think you can trade.
This is a
I don't think you-
prospect.
yeah, I don't think it applies to prospects.
Oh. Oh.
He said shortly after the trade, he told TSN 1040 that the trade is a shock, but he heard some rumors about a deal.
Okay.
Madden also told TSN 1040 that the Kings were interested in him on the draft day in 2018.
Okay.
They were interviewing me a lot and looking at me at the draft, so I wasn't surprised going to them.
They were giving him the
So-
fuck me eyes.
So so the Kings were interested in him even on the draft day, so they know a lot about this kid.
Oh,
If their prospects were even looking at him during the juniors,
by the way, guys, we weren't supposed to do this video. Scotty and I, we were gonna do a sort of would you rather video where we give two players and we sort of voice who would we rather, who do you think is the better player. Did you guys see the shirt I have? I have a fucking Los Angeles Kings t-shirt. It's an Anze Kopitar t-shirt. I didn't even know this deal was gonna go down. So it's a fucking sign. I'm an omen. I got a third fucking eye. I got a crystal ball. And furthermore, do you guys remember where I was when this news dropped?
I'm the shitter.
we were in voice chat
We were in voice, but where was I physically? Do you guys remember?
I'm the shitter. Take a
On-
shit.
On the shitter.
on the toilet.
I was taking a shit. And I tell you what, it's a good thing. Because had I not been on the toilet, I would have shit my pants. Moving on in the chat.
Yeah, but didn't you say you had shit coming out of your ears earlier? So there's still some misconstrued.
I shit my ears. Mark Velasco, he says Madden. Oh, sorry, I just read that. RD, he says Hoglander, Lind, Podkolzin are above Madden. Toffoli, if he's re-signed, is not far from. That's another thing I forgot. Those three players he named, I don't know Lind that much, but I would take Hoglander over Madden. I would take Podkolzin over Madden. So when you say it's like
Man,
trading,
Podkolzin's sick. I would take Podkolzin over all those guys.
yeah. So it's not quite like trading Cole Caulfield for Toffoli, because I feel Caulfield is their best prospect. For Vancouver, their best prospect I feel is Podkolzin or Hoglander. Did you see those fucking moves he was pulling off, Hoglander?
Yeah, Hoglander's a good player.
I mean,
I know Hoglander.
some might call him a puck hog. But, dude, to do those he did the lacrosse moves before Svechnikov did it.
That was a bad joke, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
didn't laugh at that.
Yeah, thank you for telling. Thank you for knowing.
Not the first one I heard.
I thought it was funny.
I'm just
supposed to
fucking
be
with
the
you.
Fucking king of dad jokes.
Yeah, because you're a fucking dad.
Yep.
RD says Canucks still have a lot of good prospects. That's true. Listen, if you have like a prospect pool like the Canucks, I think they have a good prospect pool. Maybe not like top 5, the deepest in the NHL, but still, you can afford to give up some guys like Madden here and there, in my opinion. Upscale Stu says, what was that trade? I just got here. Well, the trade was Tyler Toffoli going to the Vancouver Canucks for Tim Schaller, a 2020 second, a conditional 2024. What was it? 2024?
Fourth.
And
Yeah,
John
fourth.
Madden. Or Jim Madden? James Madden? Gregory?
It definitely wasn't John Madden. I
Madden.
know that much. Tyler
Tyler.
Madden.
Tyler Madden.
It was a Tyler for a Tyler Toffoli for a Tyler Madden.
Right.
I got some breaking news for you guys.
Involving what?
Joe said he liked your Hoglander joke.
Gotta love Joe.
Oh my god. You call that breaking news?
I think Joe has a crush on you, man.
Who doesn't?
Well, he did say he was looking for a girlfriend recently, so
Oh,
maybe
really?
he's just fucking settling for Matt.
Joe, you broke up with your girl? What happened there?
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
He said it one time. Remember, we were having a live stream, and Joe was like, "I'm having a bit of girlfriend issues," and he was only joking, though.
yeah. Well, we were talking about which hockey players we would like get a hall pass for. Anyway, Mark Velasco, he says it's a smart trade. Madam isn't a big player. They need because he's only what 5'11", I think.
155 pounds, 5'11".
What?
Yeah, I
155
said that
pounds?
earlier. Yeah, I said that earlier when I listed. I said he's definitely really skinny because he's
Dude,
basically
I
6 foot
I
tall.
hold
And
on. Hold
man,
the phone.
I'm skinny and I'm 165
Listen, I'm
and I'm
220
5'11".
pounds.
I'm
Fucking
5'11", 165, and I'm skinny.
155. I weighed that when I was 11.
I'm only 10 pounds above that.
I take shits that are 155 pounds. That is
Well, at
nothing.
least I'm 10 pounds heavier than your shit.
Are you proud of that?
Man, I'm proud to have the extra 10 pounds. 155 is fucking
Well,
small for 5'11", man.
it's the same weight when I ate peanuts, but anyway. Mark Velasco says Madden is a big player. They need to dump Schaller's salary so that they can re-sign Markstrom, Tanev, and Stretcher. They need scoring. Tyler Foley is a great rental. Oh, so that's good. You're seeing more so the other side of it. So that's good to see. Artie says Vertman is going to re-sign 100%. Besser, Petey, Miller, Toffoli, Horvat, Pearson, Podkolzin, Gadet, Vertman is a lethal top 9. Hoglander should be in the NHL next year too, in my opinion. Anderson, better than Markstrom? Ha 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 ha. I think Hughes is the best out of the two teams. All right, a lot to digest there. I will say something.
Anderson's way better than Markstrom by like a country mile. He's been
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 years fucking solid hockey, man. Anderson's way better and way more proven.
Yeah. I will say, about Vertman, he was one of those players we were talking about. He's approaching bust zone. Remember, because he was a pretty high draft pick. They could have gotten guys like Nylander, a lot of guys in that one draft. What was it, 2014 or whatever it was? And I gotta say, this year he might not have like top 6 numbers. He's having a solid year. I feel like he's sort of reinvented his game and he's more of like playing a checking style. And I think that's fit in nicely with this edition of the Vancouver Canucks. RD says, or hold on, Colin Allen was saying that, not RD. RD says, I think Hughes is the best out of the two teams. Joe says, they do have the better defense, in my opinion. Vancouver's better defensively. T2 or TO, or I guess does he mean, Toronto just has offensive defensemen and that's it. Vancouver is better in their own end, in my opinion. God damn it, I'm fucking far in the comments. I'm gonna have to read a lot here.
Neither one of them are very good in their own end, to be honest.
Yeah. He says, especially their forwards, I think Bo Horvat is better defensively than either Tavares or Matthews. Bobby the Handsome Guy Johnson. He's nice name. He says, what do you see the Blues doing? Well, I predicted, to answer your question, after losing Boomister to that horrible heart condition or whatever it was, I would see them get a defenseman. I would see them getting a third defense, like a bottom pairing defenseman. I don't see why Tyler Toffoli. What am I saying? God damn, I've been streaming too long. Martinez. I would see Martinez being a good fit for the Blues. Because listen, even if Boomister isn't that same defenseman he used to be, he ate a lot of minutes and he would face a lot of good players on the other teams. They need someone to fill out those shoes. And they, with all due respect, they feel like they can do a repeat. I could see them go after a guy like Alec Martinez. Chalk it up in the books. I'm predicting it. Joe says Pearson's about mid-20s. Hot take hockey. He says, hey man, just subscribe. Just keep it up. Dude, I think I've seen your channel before.
That's John. That's my friend. That's my buddy. Well, he's not my buddy.
Oh.
He's a YouTube buddy. I've been a subscriber of his channel for years. He has over 10,000 subscribers. He's a huge YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Huge
I've
hockey channel.
I've
He
definitely
does live
seen your
streams
channel
all the
before.
time. Awesome channel.
Hey, listen, John, I really appreciate the compliment. I really appreciate it. Keep it up yourself, and I'll be checking out some of your videos.
I'm a long-time subscriber, so anybody listening, if you love fucking live streams and people who cover every teams, just like the Simbin, Hot Take Hockey is an awesome channel.
Yeah, awesome channel. Subscribe to Hot Take Hockey, guys. Dramonks, he says, what the fuck, man? Kings are so stupid. Stop this madness. Fuck Rob Blake. You know what's interesting in all of this? It seems like both fan base, they're hating this. And for me, a Canadians fan, someone who's outside of all of this, when I see both fan bases being mad, I just view this as being a good trade. Personally, I'm trying to be as unbiased here and as neutral as possible. But yeah, I feel like both teams, both fan bases, they get big attachments to their players. They hate to see them leave. But who knows? You guys might learn to love Tyler Toffoli. Maybe he gets hot in the playoffs. He gets streaky. I Let me reiterate myself. That line that he had in Los Angeles those years that they won, it was called that 70s line because all the three players they had their numbers were in the 70s. It was Tyler Pearson, Tyler Toffoli, and Jack Carter. That was a dominant line. If he can bring some of that magic to Vancouver, you're going to look at Tyler Madden and it still might sting a little bit, but not as much. You have two pieces.
One thing I can say about
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go
One thing
ahead.
I can say about Toffoli is under pressure in big situations, he's a clutch player. Like a lot of LA's game winners have come from Tyler Toffoli. He's like Justin Williams was in LA. Like the way Justin Williams was in LA. When you need a big goal at a big time, he steps up. He's one of those players that you always have on the ice at the last minute of the game. He is good that way. And in the playoffs, he steps up his game big time.
Yeah.
I don't know his playoff stats off the top of my head, but like you say, in those runs that he had with LA, he's one of the players that really stood out to me. Him, Justin Williams, and Jeff Carter and Kopitar, those players really stood out to me for LA. But he was one of the younger players that I was like, this dude's fucking sick in the playoffs. I'd love to have him on Montreal.
Yeah. Dramonks, he says, "What the fuck, man? Kings are so stupid." I just read this. Brock Ward, nice to see you, buddy. He says, "Great trade for the Canucks. Hate to see." Oh, so this is one of the rare ones who actually likes the trade. Hate to see Madden get traded, but value for value here. I'm betting Toffoli re-signs in Van, and the second line of Pearson, Horvat, and Toffoli is gonna be huge. He says, "Who the fuck is this Madden and that other guy?" I'm disappointed as a Kings fan. So there you go. A lot of excitement. Go ahead.
So I think this would be a good way to talk about this trade. Who lost the trade more, the Canucks or the Kings?
Yeah, that's a good way. I have
Vancouver
trouble.
sucks in the playoffs and they don't re-sign Toffoli, Vancouver definitely lost the trade. If LA gets this prospect he turns out to be a bum and Schaller does nothing and their picks pan out to be nothing, LA loses the trade. So only Tom will tell, really.
Well said. They both won and they both lost. It's like if these are two different teams in two different situations, the Canucks, whether you agree with it or not, they're going for it. And the Los Angeles Kings, they're going for the high draft pick. They're getting nowhere close to sniffing the cup. They might be sniffing some other things with Jared Stoll on that team. Or he used to be on that team, but who knows. That was a cocaine joke. Hot Take Hockey says it's his thumb. Joe says, speaking of injured prospects, does anyone know how Peyton Krebs is doing with the Vegas organization? GB, look up how Peyton Krebs is doing with Vegas. I'm going to keep reading these. I know he had a bad knee injury and that hurt his draft position a lot. He ended up slipping all the way down to the Vegas Golden Knights. Hot take. Go ahead.
It's Krebs, not Crabs. I'm an idiot.
Peyton Krebs.
You said it like crabs, dude.
I said crabs?
It sounded like it.
Listen, I'm bad at pronouncing. There's no way I said Peyton Crabs. Someone
I don't know. You said you called Jay Bowmeister, and you called Jake Buchanan Burton, so
Bowmeister?
You called him Bowmeister, and you called Buchanan Burton.
So in the Western,
I just went along with it.
In the Western Hockey League, Peyton Krebs for the Vegas Golden Knights scored with the Kootenay Ice in the WHL. Kootenay. Yeah, I'm also dumb too.
Hey, I'm not dumb.
In 32 games played, he has 50 points, 10 goals, 40 assists with a +3.
Hot Take Hockey, clearing up some of that issue I had before. He says not illegal to trade a player regardless. You can trade an injured player in the league or not. Okay, I didn't know that. Maybe it was more of like a gentleman's agreement, or I don't know. I feel like I heard that somewhere, but thanks for the clarification, Hot Take. Brock Ward says, "Damn, your guys' pronunciation is hilarious."
And then you
Yeah.
got me with the fucked up accent on top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, we're a
I'm
bunch
just
of
retarded.
yeah, we're a bunch
I'm
of
not retarded.
bums.
I just can't speak right.
That sounds like retarded.
Hey, we're doing this for free. What can you expect?
Listen, we're a bunch of bums. One is from Newfoundland. The other one is from Quebec. And the other one, GB, I don't know where you're from, and personally, I don't really
Kansas.
care. But we want to talk to you, the fans, from a fan's perspective. If you guys want to go listen to Bob McKenzie, or if you guys want to go listen to Darren Dreger, that's cool. You know, I like to listen to them too. But sometimes I like to listen to like a bunch of three idiots speaking at the same time. Because this is how you would talk like in a bar. You know what I mean? Just like some chill, relaxed talking. And I get to answer your questions, which I enjoy. Michael says, do we think this is the only trade Jim makes before the trade deadline? I don't know. I don't think he's done at all, personally. I doubt they just add Toffoli and they're like, okay, we're good enough to make the cup. No, I see them maybe a defenseman. Who knows? Maybe a Martinez doesn't get traded to St. Louis. He goes to Vancouver. He would be a decent fit there. The only thing I'm not sure of is their cap situation. Do you have cap friendly up, Guy Boucher?
Yeah. Who do you want to see?
Vancouver.
$200,000 left in cap.
Yeah, dude, they're pretty high up there.
Even
projected-
after go ahead.
Their projected cap space is $30,000.
Ooh, shit, even less.
$30,000. Even what do you see under deadline cap space? Near the top they write like deadline cap space.
690,000.
How much did you say Schaller was making?
He was making like 1 million.
So this can't be updated, right?
It's already updated.
It is?
Yeah, Toffoli's updated already.
So how do they have only 600,000 if Schaller was making 1 million?
Because Toffoli's worth
Toffoli.
almost 5 million.
Doy. Fuck.
Bruh.
You know what's the worst thing? Math is my strongest subject.
This isn't math. This is just like knowing who got traded.
It's fucking math.
And we've been talking about this for the past hour.
Yeah. It's not math, but you sound like you're on meth. Michael says, do we think this is the only... Oh, I just read that. Adam Burish says, man, so if they re-sign Toffoli, how are we going to sign Tanev? Well, that's the thing. You can't sign Tanev if you re-sign Toffoli. Or, like I said, one guy is going to leave. Whether it be Vertman...
I think
Go ahead.
more than one guy is going to leave for sure.
Repeat that list again of the people who are free agents.
So the free agents going into the offseason are Tyler Toffoli, Jake Virtanen, I don't know.
Virtanen.
Yeah. I don't know. You yelled at me earlier, so
I think the
Adam
right
got
pronunciation is Jake
Virtanen.
Vistinen. Go.
Adam got at Zach McKagan, Justin Bailey, Chris Tanev, Troy Stretcher, and Breezeball. I'm not going to try and pronounce that first name. And Jacob Markstrom.
What's his first name?
I'm not going to try.
No, try.
Gwillem. Gwillem.
My precious. I have been traded to the Canucks, my precious.
Guillaume. I don't know.
It's Guillaume, you big dummy. Why don't you pick up
I'm
a
not
French
fucking
book?
French.
Well, why don't you go get some French lessons? It's a common language.
I took Spanish class, asshole.
Oh yeah? Say something. Say I like to drink coffee in Spanish.
Hola, senor. I like big bean burritos. Make me use the toilet. Did you eat Taco Bell earlier? Is that why you're on the toilet, Sunbin?
Did I name this video Taco Bell Talk? Or did I name it Tyler Toffoli?
Hey, they both start with T.
All right. Yep. So, yeah, Adam, to answer your question, I don't see them signing Toffoli and then keeping on to other guys like Tanev. And they might. maybe if they pull some salary out of their ass, and who knows? Do you know if the salary cap's going to go up much this year? Do you know what they say?
It
Because
should go up. I don't know if it's this year or next year when that American TV deal is supposed to go through. There's supposed to be some kind of like big American TV deal the NHL is supposed to get, and like then everybody's projecting the cap's going to go up a few million.
remember, it was supposed to be last year, and all of the GMs were like sort of making moves, and then they found out it didn't go up much at all, to their chagrin. Right. Joe
Yeah.
says, I like the Hoglander joke. I like cheesy jokes.
Dude, you're way up there in the chat.
Yeah,
Dude.
he said that like fucking half hour ago.
Did I?
No, Joe did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're way up there, dude.
Yeah, because I fucking read them and I go off on the biggest tangent. I almost said tangerine. Fuck, tangent. This might spell the end for Tanev, Adam Burris says. I hope not. I like Tanev as a defenseman. I even like his brother, Brandon Tannen. He's not the biggest guy, but he hits like crazy. He's an excellent forechecker. And go look his numbers up with Pittsburgh. That's not
Doesn't
bad
he
for
play
a
for
bottom.
the? Yeah, he plays for the Penguins, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not bad for a bottom six player. I would take him on my team any day.
He'll probably be top six with Chunky on.
He shouldn't fight though. Every time he fights, it ends bad. All right, let's see. Michael says Adam Burrish. We won't be able to keep either Tanev or Markstrom. Will be leaving if Tyler Toffoli resigns. I want to know your guys' opinion. If I were to throw out those three names, Toffoli, Tanev, or Markstrom, who would you guys keep? Say if one had to walk.
If I was Vancouver,
Yeah.
I would fucking Markstrom all day. Like I think that they're probably going to let I can't say for sure because Markstrom's a really good goalie, but what are they going to do with Demko? Like if they sign Markstrom long term, everybody that I've heard coming into this year and all the analysts and everybody who knows anything, because I don't follow the Canucks, but everybody who knows stuff about the Vancouver has said that Demko is the future. That in a year or two they want him to be their number one starter. He's going to be an elite goalie someday. So unless they sign Markstrom to some short-term deal, which I don't think he's going to take, I think he's going to want. He earned a long-term contract for big money. They're probably going to let Markstrom walk and keep Demko. But I don't know. If I was Vancouver, I would keep Markstrom, but I don't think they're going to.
Really? But you can't keep DiPietro. At least in my opinion, maybe they play DiPietro in the American Hockey League. Would you keep all three of those goalies? I feel like you can get some interesting pieces, and it's sort of useless to have that many goalie prospects. Is it just me?
They could just go all in on Markstrom and end up trading Demko for like a good piece, like a couple good pieces or something. Because I don't know, he has value even as a prospect. Because coming into this year, he was one of the like most highly touted goalie prospects, and he looked pretty good in the NHL. So he has some real value too. I don't know what they're going to do with their goalie situation, but they got a future elite number one goalie, and they got a really good number one goalie now. So they need to decide what they're going to do. They're in like a Montreal situation. Montreal has Price signed long term, but then they got Premium on the minors, and he's absolutely lights out, excellent. Not in Laval so much, but in his junior career, he's been lights out and excellent. So
Right.
they're kind of in the same situation Montreal is. They got a future number one elite goalie, and they already got a number one goalie in net who's a star. So they need to decide which one they're going to keep. One has to go eventually.
Well said. What did I ask you to look up, GB?
I don't know, dude. I think I'm gonna leave the chat, dude.
All right, get the fuck out of here.
Someone died in NASCAR, dude.
Are you serious?
Man, did you guys hear that somebody died at the NHL Stadium Series?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
fell over the radar or something.
I went by the cops at the bridge when that happened. There was like 6 cops there.
So that's true. That actually happened.
Yeah.
No, I
thought it might
heard.
have been clickbait.
GB told me that the parking was hell. It was hard to get there, and I sort of ignored him because when I was listening to the Spitting Chicklets podcast, they were saying the exact same thing. They were saying they're surprised this was an NHL event because they were so underprepared, and the fucking parking, exactly like you said. You had to do this long walk to get from the parking to the stadium, and they said once you're in the stadium, the lines to the bathroom and to the concessions, it was never ending. So that sort of sucked.
Yeah, dude. So basically what I think what happened was people Ubers didn't accept and Lyft didn't go into the stadium. So
Right.
what happened when the game ended was that people had to walk out into town, which is a good 6 miles to
Are
get
you
picked up
high?
by. No,
That's crazy. 6 miles. Just what the fuck?
they had to go walk 6 miles to get picked up by their Uber driver.
Fuck. Damn.
So what I'm thinking what happened was that guy was either walking back to his car or he's trying to walk back into town to get Uber or Lyft. And he was probably high, like you're talking about, or drunk, and he just fell off the bridge.
That sucks. That
That's
absolutely sucks. I heard like he went to jump off a bridge onto a railway and it was a bit too high of a jump or whatever it was.
I don't think that's what happened, but I
Right.
think he was just. It's just sad to see, and the
So
NHL is completely ignoring this whole situation, which is
it's true.
also
It's
sad.
true.
They're just like,
I don't think they
like a little
I
fate post.
I don't think they want to admit that they were underprepared for the event. And
they don't
another,
want to give refunds.
yeah.
They want to keep all the money they made. Gary Bettman, that slimy. I'm not going to say
Don't
it,
say it. Are you gonna make a
but
Jew joke?
no.
Okay. I don't know if I have Jewish listeners. So you want to
Um,
leave because you said someone died in NASCAR and you're all shook up.
yeah, dude. He. So the crash was like 20 minutes ago. I saw it happen.
Are you
Didn't think
serious?
too much about it. And they didn't give up the thumbs up or anything yet. Like normally when
Fuck.
they don't say anything, that's how you know when it's bad.
All right. So I hope.
Yeah,
he's
I'm gonna
doing
take
okay.
off in I'm gonna take off in 10 minutes myself too to get my
All right. So
third
we're gonna keep going for 10 minutes. GB, get out of here. You get the day off. All right.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm gonna keep reading. We're talking about the Tyler Toffoli trade to the Vancouver Canucks. A lot of Canucks fans. I always liked Canucks fans. They seem like great people, persevering.
Well, the
people.
Canucks are my second favorite team next to Canadians. Like Canucks,
really?
Buffalo, and Montreal are my favorite teams because when I was really young, I liked Pavel Bure a lot, and
Cool.
Dominic Hasek was my favorite goalie all the way up until Carey Price came into the league. So that's why I like Buffalo and Vancouver, and I like Trevor Linden a lot too as a kid. So Canucks are my second favorite NHL team. Obviously, nowhere near close to what Montreal is. Montreal is by far and away my favorite team. But if I had to pick a second team that I would love to see win a Stanley Cup, it's the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah. All right. Moving on in the chat. Michael says at Adam Burish, we won't be able to. Oh, I just read that. Joe says, how did they know I have a crush on Matt? Because everyone does. Adam Burish says, nah, dude. Jake Vertanen is having a great year. 32 points in 59 games, almost top 6 numbers. Yeah, absolutely. But what I meant by he has more of like a checking game. He's more like physical, using that big frame of his. Did you see him beat up Zucker? So that's what I meant. But I do
see him
think
beat up Zucker.
I do think he's still a top 6 player. I don't want to be misconstrued here. Let's see. Joe says, I'm 5'7". I bounce between 150 and 160 pounds. Madden is 5'11", 150. That is not good. That does not sound. Absolutely not. I absolutely agree.
No, that's
there.
what I'm saying. I'm 5'11" and I'm 165. Like I weighed myself like 3 days ago and I was like 167 pounds.
And you're
man,
not.
I'm not big by any means. Like
Exactly.
I'm not skinny. I'm not scrawny or nothing. But like compared to like people I work with and stuff like that, guys that are my age, I'm not a big dude.
And you're not a professional athlete either. Like
no, and I'm not. I'm like I'm kind of tall, but like 155 pounds on a 5'11" frame. That's fucking skinny, man.
Yeah, and like I don't know what this injury was in nature, but if he keeps this weight through the NHL, he's gonna be injury prone. I can tell you that. That is a skinny fucking dude. 5'11", 150 pounds. Dude, someone
Man,
farts, he gets blown away.
Why does Pedersen can't be much more next? Pedersen looks like a rake. Like he actually looks like a rake out there. He looks like a boy out there when you watch him play. I'm surprised he hasn't been smashed yet. He's really good. He can avoid people and stuff, but he can't be no more than 175 pounds.
Yeah,
and he got to be like 6'1".
I see him get clobbered here and there.
Oh yeah, he got hurt last year because he got clobbered. I don't think he will though because he's really good at avoiding it. But his game is not.
Did you see recently against the Ducks, Pedersen got hit by Max Jones? Then Tyler Myers got in Max Jones' grill, and then what's his face? Manson comes out of nowhere, grabs Tyler Myers and just slams him on the floor like he's fucking
Man, you
7
see the
pounds.
cross check the Galley's face the other day by Chara? That was
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
fucking. How
dirty.
was that not a penalty?
Yeah,
How was that not a penalty?
because refs are fucking inconsistent in this league.
Uh, they were already on the power play too, and the refs were, it was in Boston, and the refs were like, "Oh, we don't want to make him go down 5-3." I guess that's probably why they fucking did it.
All right, I'm gonna blast through here because we will be closing soon. Hot
Yeah.
take. He says, "Thanks, Matt and Scotty. Been chilling on your stream while doing some work. Okay, that's very cool." Adam
Thanks,
Burr
man.
says, "I really do like the Vancouver is stacking up on Stanley Cup winners. Super important for their young guys." That's true. We touched upon that. Joe says, "I think it's a great trade. I just think LA should have asked for more than one prospect. Petrus, Palmu, or Gadjevich, in my opinion." True. Hot take says, "Agreed. Compared to what we've seen in the past, he's been very good." Now, David Batchelder, he says it's a good trade for Vancouver. Some of us saw that coming. Saw this coming. LOL. Toffoli reunited with Pearsons. Canucks' second line has always been in flux. This straightens that out. Haha. Drew Doughty. Your team like that comment back in October. Boy, did that ever backfire, eh? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Drew Doughty
Fuck,
should be
whatever.
depressed because his team is going to be selling big time, and I know that guy doesn't like losing, and they're going to be in
No,
for a lot of losses.
I don't know what kind of season Dowdy's having, to be honest, but I know last year he fell off quite a bit.
Yeah. Maestro says Besser is out for 3 weeks, and that sucks. We were just talking off air how I think he has one of the better shots in this league. Sucks he can't stay healthy. But also,
He does have a sick shot. He has a sick shot. Like him and Matthews got the best shots in the league, in my opinion.
yeah. Also, not to sound gay here, but he's a good looking guy. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, fuck. He is a good looking guy. Yeah, I'll give him that.
I'm pretty sure. Is it true?
He
Vancouver
got the
fans call
flow.
him
He got the flow, the blonde flow.
the salad. Yeah. I hear Vancouver fans even call him Prince Charming.
I
So
never heard that one yet. That's pretty gay.
he does look like Prince Charming. The-
He does. When you look at the Shrek movies, the Prince Charming and Shrek, he kind of looks like the Prince Charming in the Shrek movie. That's definitely gonna have to be a meme or a GIF or something.
it's so true. Oh my god, he does look like Prince Charming in Shrek. David, David. Okay, because when they called him Prince Charming, I didn't know if it was in relation to Shrek. I thought it was just like generic Prince Charming, but that's fine. David says,
That's the first thing that popped in my head.
my precious LOL, Q43 plus special abilities, aliens 40, and badass Besser. Canucks are on fire. Keep Markey, he says. Demko is still way behind Markey in development. Markey is not walking.
There you
DePietro
go.
is a
He
C.
no more than me. He's a Vancouver fan.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Joe says, I think we'll do what Pittsburgh did. When it comes to our goaltending, they have Fleury as a backup to Murray for that one season. Maybe they'll do that with Price and Primo. Batchheader says, this is not
Can
complicated.
you imagine Price being a fucking backup though? I don't think Price will ever settle for a backup role. The second he puts him in a backup role, he'll demand a trade.
And I don't think management would do that with the contract they gave him. That they would look
No,
dumb.
I don't think they would either. Because they devalue the shit out of that contract.
Yeah. This is not complicated. The team is committed to Markstrom. This is not Luongo plus Schneider from 2012, 2013. There's no doubt. Demko settles for a backup trade, probably going up to the Blues. David Batchelor says, Van City, believe in blue. Thank you, boys. Vertanen, say it right. Isn't that what I was saying? Isn't that?
No, you were saying Burtonen. I said it to you earlier. You were saying
fucking
Burtonen. It's
do.
Vertanen.
Okay, is there another guy
And
that sounds like
Bauermeister.
Vertanen? No, you guys know who I'm talking about. Petey.
Bowel movement, Meester.
Vowel movement. Petey has probably gained 10 pounds since last year. He has figured out how to play smart. That's true. To all the Canucks fans, do you believe that the Canucks will go far in this playoff season this year? I think
they'll go to the second or third round, but I don't see anybody taking out Colorado. I think Colorado is going to go all the way in the West. St. Louis or Colorado. St. Louis could do a number on Colorado, but in my opinion, it's St. Louis or Colorado are the favorites. They're just built for the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, and
Colorado's defense, there's a couple of questions, but their goaltending's excellent. Francouz is a sick backup. Grubauer is a great number one. Their top six is fucking loaded. Their defense is a little bit questionable. They got Makar back there. He's better defensively than what Hughes is. I think if Colorado and Vancouver went head-to-head, Colorado would smash them. That's just my opinion. Vancouver's a good team, don't get me wrong, but just Colorado is who I got picked to win the cup this year. That's just my personal opinion.
yeah, Billy
But
Tessio.
if Vancouver won the cup, wouldn't shock me by no means either, because they got a sick goalie. He could take them on a run.
That's true. I think it's only the inexperience that's going to bite them in the ass in the end. But I don't see why they can't at least make it to the second round.
Well, people said that about Chicago, too. People are like, well, when they got to their cup final, the first one, when they had Niemi in net, everybody was like, this team's too young. There's no way they're going to win the cup. And they won the cup.
Well, they did have players like Andrew Ladd and Bufflin, right?
True.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. Billy Tessio says, if thinking Besser is attractive is gay, then I don't want to be straight. David Batchelder says, if the Canucks can't get past the first round, mark it down as a win. They are just too young. They are not ready. God damn it. Fuck, I have bad guests. All right, so with that being said, did you hear it? I just ripped one.
Yeah, I did. That's why I chuckled.
Oh, fuck. With that.
You guys were lucky that you weren't here before we went live. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that was bad. All right. With that being said, in Van City, Besser's the flow. That is no gay shit. All right. With that being said,
Besser's one of my favorite players. I gotta say it though. I love the Vancouver Canucks, but above all, Besser's my favorite player on the team because his rookie year he was just so fucking sick, man. His shot is awesome, and he looks like a stud. He's just if he could stay healthy, man, that dude would be a stud.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. All right. I need to close this shit out. I have some work to do. With that being said, I want to thank all of you guys who showed up today. David, Billy, Joe, as usual, Maestro, Brock Ward, Billy Tessio, Hot Take Hockey. Thank you again for the compliment. Dramonks, Colin Allen, RD, all of you guys. I apologize if I'm missing people. Well, I would like to thank you guys for joining and talking a little bit about this Tyler Toffoli trade. Sorry if this wasn't the tightest video. It was sort of something like really out of the blue. We heard the news and we directly went to our computers. So we hope you guys appreciated the discussion. Areem just came late. That's okay. If you guys like this type of content and you want to see more, make sure to support the channel. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. And if you guys want to do me a favor, go check out Scotty2 Hockey's channel. The official name is Open Ice Hits with Scotty2 Hockeys. I'll put a link in the description after I'm done with this video. But check that one out. Like and subscribe to the Sinbin. Like me on Twitter. It's at the Sinbin1996. If you guys have any topics you want to talk about, anything that you, like any subject, check out my Gmail. You can email me through there. And if you guys want to join the Discord, we talk about hockey. It's pretty fun. It's also the way that you can call into the show. Make sure to follow the link that I put earlier on in the chat. All right, boys. Last thing I got to say is that tomorrow with this guy, Scotty2 Hockey, we're going to be talking about matchups. We might... Should we do it live or pre-recorded? I think I want to do it live.
It's up to you. Whatever way you want to do it, man. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me. I can wing it or I can do it pre-recorded.
All right. Makar versus Hughes. Pasternak versus Draisaitl, Domi versus Nylander, Couturier versus Bergeron. Who do we think is the better player? Tune in tomorrow. I'm not sure of the time
you
yet.
Forgot Draisaitl versus Pasternak.
No, I did that one. I forgot Marner.
Oh, did you?
I forgot Marner.
Marner versus Marner Marchand. That's
Don't break my flow. All right. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that. Who would you rather? We're going to be talking about it. So, without further ado, on behalf of Scotty2 Hockey and myself, my name